Bilbao. In the midst of Basque country. Now, how different are the Basque from Spaniards? Or am I opening a can of worms here?
Depends who you ask, right? If you ask
Sure, if you ask the Basque, they're very different.
if you ask some of the Basque, they're gonna be talking in terms of a different ethnicity and a completely different language group. If you ask the Castilian Spanish, they'll be saying, no, they're just Spanish and it's a different dialect, Basque.
You're kind of a Spanish speaker, and you said that this is
Well,
very
I was
different.
a little shocked when, you see, I think some of the words just threw me off. You see the instructions, writing, and signs at the airport. And then, now you see this in Barcelona as well. You've got Castilian and Catalan, which is fine. And you probably see this in other parts of Spain, Galician and Asturias, but it's very similar, you know?
Right.
The word for baggage, equipiae, or however you pronounce that, it's pretty much all the same.
equipage.
Yeah. But then, for Basque, it was like a totally different alien word. So I saw it and I said, what the hell is this? And then the whole sentence of leave and find your baggage. I said, wow, this is like very, very different.
Different
Maybe
language.
they got a point.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a one kind of sentence. But they got a rich history, When the Moors invaded Europe, they invaded through Spain,
Right.
and they went all the way to Toulouse until they were defeated by Charlemagne, the first great king of, I guess,
Europe.
medieval Europe. Not even medieval Europe, sort of like
Parts of Western Europe.
early medieval Europe, late Dark Age Europe. And then he began to push the Moors back. And then as he crossed between what is now France and Spain, he then broke off, I guess, some kind of alliance he had with the Basques, and then invaded them. So they've got a history that goes back to Charlemagne.
Even Charlemagne does not keep his promises.
No.
Looks like
More construction here. Oh, this construction is really...
colorful.
Well, yeah, but... looks like it's a giant parking lot.
They opened up a big hole
It's too bad because this would have been a nice...
in the middle of Basque country. Well, did you know the city was actually founded in the year 1300?
Oh, this city.
Yeah. By Lopez V.
But the real Basque country is probably out in the mountains. It's probably just a city.
Right.
They do have a mediocre soccer team.
Atletico Bilbao.
Yeah, usually kind of a mid-table team.
For all the soccer
I gotta
fans.
tell you, the people really don't look any different than other Spaniards. Not really seeing any changes.
Well, maybe they moved here.
Possibly. They certainly don't look French. I guess the French ones are definitely different.
I mean, some of the French don't look French.
Hey, look,
They just
Alonso.
look different nowadays.
Soccer player.
Xabi Alonso. Yes,
He's
I
got a
think
shoe store here.
he's from Bilbao. Oh, that's his shoe store. Huh. You want to play soccer
It's
like
probably-
Xavi?
It's probably like Smith over here.
I'm liking their garbage collection system. I dig it.
Huge trash cans.
Very big. They must be big into trash.
I really don't understand what this is.
Well,
Look at that one. It's like a nuclear bunker.
yeah. And pretty crazy.
Are they depositing nuclear waste?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, it was an industrial hub in the 19th century. They were building ships and they're using. This is a nice
Called,
kind of street. Maybe we can walk this way?
yeah, right. This is where we were yesterday.
I think so. This was all emptied out. This is a holiday, and today everybody's out and about. They're doing their Bilbaoan things. You see something you want to eat?
They got the pastel rascals here.
Ah, different pastel. Not like the Portuguese pastel.
No.
This one, Nastos. Does that mean night?
Specialize in different pastels.
You know, they should do a show, the Battle of the Pastels. I would watch that.
Sounds like an awful idea for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think this is the street we were on yesterday. This is like a different street.
Oh, this was it, Barabbas. I remember that.
To quote Gandalf in The Fellowship of the Ring, I have no memory of this place.
But then he figured it out.
Yeah, he followed his nose. But this was after he told the story, you know, he had those great lines, Frodo.
All you got to do with the time given to you. No.
Decide
What was it?
What to do.
Decide what to
Time.
do with the time given to you. Yeah.
Which is like worse to live by, honestly.
Ah, biblical.
We've been given some time and we got to decide what to do with it.
Look at this street.
No,
We should go the other way, not this way. The opposite way. That one. Wow, what is that? Huh?
Oh, it's lunchtime, that's right. Oh, dude, they have a pasteleria.
Ah.
Probably have all sorts of pastels.
Am I sensing you got sugar cravings now?
No.
Want pastels? Look how beautiful everything is. In order.
Shopping.
Let me take a few pictures. Hold on. Lefties? Yeah.
They customize clothes.
Only for the left-handed?
Yes. You see, they struggle when they move around in jackets and things.
Right.
And then this is a Spanish brand, Bershka. Owned by that same guy that owns Zara and all the other ones.
Yeah, a lot of these
It's worth like $100 billion now.
A lot of these European towns are becoming the same. They have this big, massive street with shopping stores. You just go in and spend money. The world is becoming very similar. But every now and then you'd look at architecture like this. You'd see like, what Bilbaoan men built this? Bilbaoan? Bilbo Baggins? We have to go inside a mall because this guy can't live without his Starbucks. But it'll give us a chance to see what Bilbaoans are like inside malls. No different than Americans, really. Search for a Starbucks. It's up. No?
Where are we?
Trying to keep track of everybody. I think this is the most Bilbaoans I've seen for forever. I mean, this is just so many of them. You played the flute? Okay.
Yeah. You know, I thought it was going to get me laid. It didn't.
Shocking.
Also, I was like 12, 13, 14, so that wasn't going to happen either way.
Wow, you were advanced for your age. I gotta say, Bilbaoans really like to shop.
Maybe today is like another holiday or something. Strange. So it's, what is it, like a Thursday?
Yeah, it's a Thursday and they're out in full force.
My guess is these are all government employees. Government's been like shut down. These are like teachers.
You think that for every European city. Everywhere you go, you're like, everybody works for the government. These are not communist countries. There's a private sector here. Literally, the stores that we're looking at, these are private sector stores. There's people that work in those stores.
Dude, these middle-aged people are clearly on their 3-hour lunch break. Do a little shopping, then they're gonna have lunch, then they're gonna have a drink afterwards, then they go back to work at the post office, at the Ministry of Culture of Young People.
Sounds good, actually.
At the other Ministry of Culture for Young People.
They have 2 ministries for culture and young people. Guess
yes,
you gotta
it's very hard.
keep track of everybody. Well, I tell you, I wouldn't mind a Bilbaoan government job at that ministry.
You
Go around, shop.
You last 2 days in a Bilbaoan government job.
Really? Are the Basques that bad? No, I don't think so. I think they'd be very nice.
It takes
Take 3-hour breaks.
of living here to put up with the government bureaucracy of the Bilbaoans. All that red tape.
Well, I gotta tell you, all that bureaucracy has done an amazing job with these streets. Look at this artist. Oh, look! There's a statue of John Adams.
Oh, yeah. That's odd.
Was he a Bilbaoan?
Now, far
Bilbaoan?
from it, actually.
Oh.
No, back then, all the leaders, pretty much all WASPs.
Wasps. Maybe it was a wasp Bilbaoan.
No such thing, my friend.
Well, for some reason they have a statue of him up there. Maybe one of his mistresses was from Bilbao.
No,
And
John Adams was a man who wouldn't cheat on his wife?
Damn it.
Would he have? For sure, of course, absolutely. I mean, this is a guy.
So he's
that
not a
was
cheater.
ex-president. No, he was a loyal man, loyal to
His country.
his new country, right? Because he was one of the founding fathers. And I guess loyal to his family.
Well, good for him. Good for John Adams.
I think what happened is
Scott Adams.
one of these let's call them movie channels in Europe, picked up the HBO special with John Adams, played by the great Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti was
And
good
the
in
mayor
that.
liked it so much, he said, listen, I think we got to commission a statue here for
So
John
was that a
Adams.
statue of Paul Giamatti or John Adams?
Well, it said John Adams, but it looked a lot like Paul Giamatti to me.
Alright. I think we're... This is that... Oh, this is Starbucks right there at the corner. Gotta go this way.
I think definitely one of the features here are these giant trash cans.
Yes. I love them. I can't get enough of trash cans.
This is,
Look, there's a
they
man
take
just
their-
looking at the trash cans. He's like looking at it. He's trying to figure out how to open it.
they take
We all
their
are.
trash collection seriously.
Yes.
I gotta say. This is
You have to respect the people. And look at the entrance to the subway. I mean, look at this magnificent
is
structure.
it a subway or
Yeah, it has to be. Or a dungeon. I don't know. I want it to be a subway, but that's just me thinking outside the box.
One thing is for sure, the subway is not connected to the airport.
No, it does
We
not.
got
There's only
screwed.
taxis. Yeah. This city, they screw you.
30 euros for a taxi.
Ugh,
Like what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
my God. The Basque countryside is no place for the subway lovers. Alright, why don't you jump into the Starbucks? Alright, so now you got your Starbucks.
Yeah, I like to.
You're gonna be
get a
fine, or
Starbucks
you
in
need
these
another?
European towns as a sign of dominance over the Basque states.
Ah,
What's
so
that?
you have learned nothing. You still think the U.S. treats these countries like vassal states? I mean, look at it. Do you see these Bilbaans? Do you see what they've done? They've built parks. They've built buildings. They have this. And I haven't seen one Romanian car since I've been in Bilbao. It's all Spanish cars and French cars.
I haven't seen the Spanish cars. Do you know what the Spanish brand is?
Seta. S-E-T-A.
I think it's called the Seat.
The seat, right.
Actually, I don't know. I think it's the Seat or something like that.
Seat?
I believe it's S-E-A-T.
Well, whatever it is, I think it started during fascism. Maybe Franco or Hitler or one of those guys put together a car, and the Spanish just looks like Volkswagen in Germany, or whatever that is in Italy.
Well, I don't even think it's the most popular car in Spain.
Really? Talk about national pride getting kicked.
People are going to do what's best for them.
All right, let's keep going to discover more of Bilbao. See if we can figure out a method to their madness. What makes this place tick? So far, I see a lot of generic brands. There's Guess, Alvaro Moreno,
On the other street, there were all the luxury brands.
the luxury brands. Although, do we consider Berkshire luxury?
And in the mall I went to, it's your typical, all the brand malls with like seven floors. You see that in Messina in Rome, or the big one in Milan. You have that here.
But that guy just jaywalked. Let's go that way. This must be their main square. This is where Lopez Alfonso Ramiro Bilbao V created the town of Bilbao, which, by the way, got rich by exporting raw materials from the nearby mountains and hills to the Dutch and the English. But it didn't really hit its heyday since oh wow, look at this. I think we're in the right place. Well, first let's look at this man. So this must be one of the first Bilbaans. He's holding a hat and he's looking that way, which can only mean one thing.
Oh yeah, this is the guy.
Is this the guy? John Adams?
No, it's Jose Antonio Villaguerra.
No, that's not the guy. He founded it in 1300. He would not have worn that.
No, he's the guy that eventually died in Paris.
Ah, syphilis. Yes.
Well, yes, but the story's a little bit more complicated than that.
Was it his mistress?
It was actually his wife.
Ah. So she
had cheated
cuckolded
on
him.
so many times that at one point it eventually led to his demise in Paris.
You know, I don't even get that.
But they had an arrangement. He couldn't satisfy her. She came from a wealthy family. This guy had nothing.
Right. Well, that's some alternative Bilbaoan history right there. Now, for the real deal. You know, I don't know where to place it.
I think I know.
It's kind of like, are these buildings from the 70s or did they just paint over them?
Yeah, I think what you're looking at here, possibly in the 90s. I think what you're looking at here is
In the 90s?
an attempt
Dear Lord.
to build around an identity,
Ah,
right? And I
the
think
old identitate.
yeah, and I think a decent job in mixing in new buildings where you can around this neo-classical identity, which is very typical for any kind of European city. So it really
Yeah,
depends
the
where you're coming
Europeans
from.
love
If
their
you're coming here from the U.S. or
neoclassicness.
Canada directly to Bilbao, which of course, why would you? Then you're going to be impressed. If you come here from Porto, like we did, you're really not going to be impressed.
No, Porto is on a different level. But I gotta say, it's clean, it's nice, it's safe. Nobody's tried to sell us drugs. Oh. Woo! Alright.
Any tree like this reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Yes. The white tree of Eredir.
Yeah. You just want to look at it and wait for like the leaf to grow, you know? Which signals the return of the king.
Is that right?
You know, doing away with the life of the ranger and grabbing the sword and finally saying, I will become what I was meant to become. Sure,
Man,
that's
the
what
Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, the king doesn't come until like hour 13. Just until the
Yeah,
end.
but you know, there's an important scene which they take out in the studio edition. Very important in the extended edition. So, the scene is Aragorn actually talks directly to Sauron before.
Right.
Remember, they're trying to create a diversion.
Yeah.
So he grabs one of those like black balls,
Yeah.
whatever they're called. The one where
They're not all accounted for, yeah.
Exactly. He grabs one of them and he tells him, long have you hunted me just to see it. And then he shows him the sword that, you know, led to his previous demise, where he cut off the hand of Sauron.
Right.
And the sword has been reforged. to get Sauron scared and say, okay, the king has now returned. But then Sauron, of course, shows in what's her name? The elf woman who Aragorn is in love with. She's
The
dying.
Liv Tyler character is dying.
Yes, yes.
Erwin.
Eowyn, yeah.
Erwin.
So, but that's an important scene because this is how they create the diversion.
Yes.
So Sauron ahead of time,
Most
he's
of
got to
the
prepare all
scenes
these
in Lord of the
armies.
Rings are important.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson left no
Now,
stone
in the studio
unturned.
edition, even though that was pretty long too, it sort of just cuts away to them arriving at the gates of Mordor, and suddenly he's got all these armies, lined up and do all that.
I feel like this is an older population. What do you think? Have the youth migrated
think,
to Barcelona?
I think what's happening is from the ages of probably 20 to 45, 50, they're probably at work.
Really?
Working, doing something, college, etc.
On January 2nd?
Yeah. While those with families, seniors, those with these cushy government jobs, they're out and about doing shopping and having lunch and all the things you would normally do if you didn't really have to work so much. You see, the stores are full of employees, and the employees are in the age range where you don't see outside because they're busy working. They got to make money.
Somebody needs to make money. You can just go around and do nothing. Like they've been, maybe those buildings went up in the 80s. I don't know. Red brick architecture?
They look newer than that.
Maybe 90s, you think? Yeah, these are definitely 90s. Oh, this is where the people live. They're not all going to live in old towns, This is a typical Spanish
I like how
or
they got
Basque.
underground parking everywhere. It's similar to Barcelona.
Yeah. Underground parking. They had that in Mallorca too.
Difficult to do it in Miami.
But this is a typical home. They don't have houses. Mostly they have apartments.
Apartamentos.
Apartamentos buildings. I don't know what we're doing here, but yeah, let's swing it.
Well, we got time to kill before the rain.
Wow, good garbage collection. Look, that woman's putting a lot of things into the trash. Good. Good.
Yeah, you could be the vlogger who focuses on trash collection.
I love it.
More so than other ones. And then everyone that works in sanitation departments all across the Western world and the developing world would follow you.
Follow my tips.
And then, just see progress in those sort of various towns. How garbage
Look how good it is. It's just such a simple solution to man's trash problems. Of course, this one's a smaller one. Wow, massive garbage here. Good for them. All right.
We're really in like residential areas.
This is very residential, huh? Well, this is good. So this is where Bilbaoans live.
Yeah.
You know what? I would have thought much worse. It's not bad.
Why would you think much worse?
I don't know. I mean, what do they make? What do they produce? You got to produce output. You got to make a good or a service. This is the headquarters of like an app, a tech company, or the headquarters.
It's a major city in Spain.
From what I heard is they suffered during the Civil War, the Spanish Civil War. The city was actually...
That was like 100 years ago, man. Most of Germany
90
was
years
bombed
ago,
during
but-
World War II. Yeah, it was, and it's still recovered. It's fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
It's a major
surprised. Like,
city
it's very
in
nice.
a major European country of like 40 million people.
Is it 40 million now, Spain?
It is.
I thought it was more. Do they count the Basque?
Probably double count them. Who knows?
Ah. All right. Look at that church. Looks like they went for modern, but I don't know if it panned out right. Impressive. Look how big this trash can is. Crazy. Alright, I have to buy something to eat. And then we'll do more vlogging afterwards. Looks so good. Got my empanada here. So now I will...
Oh, this is terrible.
Is it? Really? Let me try it.
Well, I've been to Argentina, so...
What's the start of it?
No.
No bueno. But maybe I can use this trash can. Look at that. Boom.
I don't think that's what
It's very simple. Really? I did it wrong? Well, that's when I'm focusing on the trash. It's very hard. Wow. I think you just put some onion inside or something. Not good?
No.
Well, Bertiz makes empanadas right next to trash cans.
Las empanadas es mejor en Argentina.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. We'll get something else to wash it down. That was absolutely dreadful. Horrible empanada.
That should not be called an empanada.
No.
I've had pirogis that had more filling and meat.
Pirogis, huh? What is this beautiful structure? Made out of glass. How come there's so many bakeries in Europe where people go and buy the bread? What happened to the bakeries in North America? I mean, there's almost no bakeries. You have to go to the supermarket to buy the bread.
I think you've hit a point here which should get more discussion, I think.
Should be breaking news every day.
Yeah.
CNN should come out. It's like, breaking, another
It is a
bakery is
shocker
going down.
That in the U.S. we have to buy sliced bread at the
Supermarket.
supermarket that lives
In a-
for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Military style bread.
A local bakery was the cornerstone of the community.
What happened to the baker? How about him?
I don't know. I mean, they have a bakery section somewhat inside the supermarket. But let's face it.
But that's not the same.
It's not the same.
No.
No.
The
And it's
baker,
usually like
he
cake
worked
and
for
things like
himself. He poured his sweat and blood and
that. No.
toiled to make his
You're
bread.
supposed to have the bakery.
You need-
and then in the bakery, you should have the bread that's fresh. You should have sandwiches that's fresh. You
Yep.
should have all the desserts.
And then I want them to be out of stock for certain items. That's how I know it's fresh. You go to the supermarket, everything's always in stock. They're like, do you have bread? Yeah, I got a
I
million
think
bread.
it's the whole kind of buy everything in one place kind of deal where I'm gonna leave my
Yeah.
house once in 2 weeks or once a week, get everything, and then that's it.
But that's why everybody's fat, because it's very low quality breads. People in Europe eat more bread than in
We're
America.
going straight.
Way more bread. There's less gyms here. I think I've seen like one gym in all of Bilbao.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the obesity problem is not as evident. I mean, there's an obesity problem in the West in general, but
Oh no, there's like none here. I don't include.
you don't see a lot of fat people here.
No, I don't include senior citizens in that because once you're that age, you know, fuck it, right?
Yeah, I give you a pass on
But
carbs.
I mean, anyone under a certain age in Spain or anywhere, I mean, you just don't see fat people straight.
No.
Which means the problem doesn't really exist. And the fact that there's no gyms proves that it's not a working out problem. It's more of a culture slash what kind of items we put in our food.
Could also be certain substances I think might be banned in the EU that are harmful, like chemical glues, and they're not banned in the United States. As a matter of fact, they're, you know, you have to use them to stay competitive. That's why the mom and pop bakery shops went down under for the big bad supermarkets taking over, bullying them out of business.
Yeah, but here when people go shopping, they don't stock up on like, see in the US, you go to the Costco, you stock up with, you know, 4 cars worth of food.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah,
We were there
they
for
get,
the
like,
month.
8 frozen pizzas.
So the doomer YouTube
Chips.
videos, the apocalypse is coming.
Here, you just go with like 1 bag, but you go more often. You go like four times a week or something. Yeah, we gotta cross.
Cross this way.
Here, so I guess we gotta cross this way.
There's only one cross. You think they'll build 2 crosses here? You crazy. You're out of your mind. You're lucky you're getting one. I believe we were here before. Oh, look at that bus.
We were over there by the roundabout.
That is a strange bus.
Let's go.
I think I see it. It's straight ahead.
Oh, you can't miss it. I mean, the design and the structure is so different, so unique.
People come to
It
Bilbao
stands out.
for it.
Yeah.
All right, we're heading in there. All right, it wasn't easy, but we got last minute tickets at the Guggenheim. This really put this city on the map again. It was built, I believe, in 1997, and it is what this city is now known for. I think there's like really nice beach resorts outside of Bilbao too, but people come from all over the world just for this. Bilbao's Guggenheim Museum. Well, there's some sort of a cat or a dog right outside of it. Did they shape a tree? I don't know. Maybe it's a mural with flowers. It's shaped in the form of a dog. I don't know. I can't think of it. Oh. No matter how cold it gets, there's always this guy. The city's like a meme. That's quite something. So this was built in 1997.
Yep.
Which tells me that the city probably
Oh, this put
had
the
some
city
hard
on the
times.
map.
Yeah, I put it on the map.
The city had like nothing before that.
No.
And it gave a reason for airlines to increase their
Air traffic.
flights to the city.
Ah,
People want to see the museum. And then with more revitalization, it put the city on the map.
right.
So it's a good example of
Probably this
kind of
entire
a mediocre
neighborhood.
town really upgrading itself with one giant project like this.
You know what? If Bilbao can do it, any city can do it. So, you mayors out there, focus on bringing in something like this into your city with works of arts, and wonders will happen. You can also charge tourists the hotel prices and Americana coffees that Bilbaoans are charging. Why? Because you have this thing in your city. What time is it? Is it time to go in?
Yeah, actually, I think we might.
Oh. All right. So we must be in the first. Then we have Hilma and Clint in the second. Didactica on the third, whatever that means. All right. Let's start the tour. This is some sort of a maze. Popularized in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, where Jack Nicholson goes crazy and kills his entire family. What happens here? You actually go in? Ooh, going through the maze. Oh no! Uh-oh. All right. Ooh, there's some light coming from above. It is tough. Oh, I see light at the end of the tunnel. Woo. All right. That was fun. That was fun. These Bilbaoans know their way around a maze.
Is this the art?
Not impressed?
No, just asking a question.
Well, I'm not even sure if we came the right way. Those guys really look Illuminati to me. Whew. I think this one's going to be better. Now this is made out of... Is it made out of wood? Whew. What is it made out of? It's a question. We don't know. Well, in this room, there are a few of the models that remain from actually putting this whole thing together. So look at this. Get a better idea on how massive this whole thing was. I actually got lost a couple of times. All right, the first room, kind of interesting. Big mazes. Really huge. I thought this was rusting, but it actually feels like it's oak or wood or some kind of... It's not really metal. Yeah. Definitely interesting. Let's see what the other floors have in store for us. Ooh. This no tocar. All right. It just numbers going up and down. What is this? Well, this is at the Guggenheim Museum. People are watching. So the final room of this first floor is an entire room of these little screens that just project some images. We're not sure exactly what they are, but it's a fork and a spoon. A fork and a spoon. Do you feel educated yet? Cultured?
I think this is a perfect example of why you have spoofs in movies regarding this stuff.
Yeah, I think Hollywood's been spoofing this stuff for a while. The pretentious, elitist, artsy class versus the peasant masses trying to actually work for a living. As the elite try to come up with this as artwork. But you know what? They have a basketball theme, I think. Different ways you can enjoy basketball. You could see it projected. You could see it on television screens. And then they have, is this a shower feature? We're not exactly sure. It reminds me of the scene from Psycho where Anne Heche is taking a shower and that guy dressed as his mom tries to kill her. But essentially what it is a microphone and a running shower in a bathtub. Artsy. Artsy. This is, what is this, a sunset?
I think the bathtub was the most interesting thing we saw.
The bathtub was interesting, yes. It had running water. It's better than most European hotels. Oh look, they've mutilated a man. See, this is why people hate the elites. They keep giving you this. I don't even know what to make of it. This poor guy didn't see it coming. Well, this is the second floor. This has a lot of paintings. I just don't get it. Not really understanding it. It's supposed to be patterns, colors. I don't know. What is the significance of this? What are they trying to tell us? Is it Adam and Eve? We don't know. Huge room again. I gotta say, so far, not really impressed with this museum. I mean, it's just a bunch of paint on canvases. A lot of it doesn't really make sense. I don't know what this is or who did it, but whoever did it and whatever it is should be fired. This one over here is just yellow and white. I mean, I don't even know. Of course, I didn't go to a fancy art school, so maybe I'm not getting it, but this is a bunch of trash. They've put together some used aluminum, I guess. That's what that is. Just feels soulless. Just feels soulless. But the maze in the first floor was fun. So many different museums should just try to incorporate mazes so you can get lost and have a lot of fun. Well, I think the colors are interesting. Here on the third floor, but I don't know, people can judge for themselves. I gotta say, this is definitely not everybody's cup of tea. This was sold as this must-see museum, and well, there's some interesting pieces. I think it's far more interesting on the outside than the inside, known for its architecture. We are in a special room, apparently the universe room, here at the Guggenheim in Bilbao, and we had to wait about 30 to 40 minutes for this. You tell me if it's worth it. All right, we're done with the Guggenheim. Huge disappointment.
Well, I think the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao is not for the masses, I think. It is really for those who regularly attend art exhibits and, art galleries. So they might be in the know.
Maybe.
I think the example that I would use would be sort of avant-garde documentaries for film enthusiasts, you know? It's like you're watching some independent film without any sort of classical beat sheet plot.
Right.
No name actors or maybe name actors. And then those that love movies, that really watch a lot of the stuff, would maybe appreciate a couple of these projects.
We have to admit, though, that a lot of the artsy films are really bad.
Oh, they're awful. Yeah,
they're just going for the word artsy. They're like, it's a man sitting in a chair smoking a cigarette for 3 hours telling a story about how he lost his virginity.
This is the example of that, essentially. This is sort of that
made a whole museum out of it.
Let's make a documentary about something, and let's all make it in, I don't know, bastardized Latin for fun, you know?
Right.
So this is the example of that. A lot of the paintings honestly look like doodles.
Right.
That a 9-year-old would doodle while he's pretending to listen to, one of the Tom Sawyer's readings from a classmate.
But they based an entire city on this. This is what it's known for now, right? For tourists to come to Bilbao because of the Guggenheim.
Yeah, this is sort of like if you're going to be at this part of Europe, you can come here. I mean, the city's nice. It's not just this, but you attend this. The ticket price is 15 euros.
I think it should have been free.
It definitely should have been free for the masses.
All right. Well,
anything
interesting in Bilbao?
Probably the most interesting thing.
Yes, they had that water shower in the bathtub. The maze
cool.
was interesting. They should put a maze in every museum.
I did see actually. They had this large room full of speakers throughout the room.
Right.
And they had projected the 1966 World Cup final between, I believe it was West Germany and England.
Yeah.
And they had sound effects of, I guess, probably not the same game, but it fit that game, right? So when England scored a goal, there would be cheers throughout the stadium, and the speakers would project cheers. So that was nice. Other than that, nothing memorable. I mean, we waited in line to see some sort of a visual effect from this other artist. That was like a 25-minute lineup,
literally
30-minute lineup.
No, it was like 35-minute lineup.
Yeah.
They told us to come back again, and we went back, and it was like a small room.
Closet
with some Christmas lights.
With mirrors and Christmas lights. That's really what it was.
It's like, go to Super Blue Miami or something if you want that experience. You don't have to fly all the way to Bilbao.
Yep.
That's what people get ticked off of. Sometimes there's these pretentious Europeanists. It's like, well,
one of them was
this.
actually a plastic spoon, it looked like.
I think it was a spoon and a fork.
Plastic fork, yeah.
So what do you give this city overall? Doesn't compare to Porto, I guess.
We'll walk around more and we'll see. Let's go find some food.
Yeah, let's go eat. There's salesmen doing sales. Well, I think we're gonna close it out here in Bilbao. It's kind of a small city, known for the Guggenheim museum. It was kind of disappointing, the museum in general, right?
Yeah, I think
Pretentious art and all that, but
definitely if you are an art lover, a regular attender of art galleries, exhibits, etc., then you probably enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just something that you do if you're in Bilbao. That's it.
But otherwise, it's a beautiful town. We just had some traditional Basque cuisine, some pixtos, a couple of beers. It's a beautiful town full of very nice people. It's very safe. The architecture is really, really cool. Unique style.
Well, what's great about it is, if you're in Madrid, anyone who's been there will tell you it's really crowded and really, really tight. I mean, just tons of people stacked, packed like sardines. Out here,
All the government buildings.
right, out here, you may not have the castles of the Spanish Empire or whatever, but you have a cute little town, revitalized, maintained, old buildings, but plenty of room to kind of walk around, lots of squares, sidewalks. So is it worth a visit? I would say yes.
And with that, I think we're gonna close it from the shopping street in Bilbao.